Well, we're joined now from Durban by the party's national spokesperson, Mkhuleko Hlengwa. Baba Hlengwa, good morning. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Well, this decision may not come as a surprise, of course, to many people, and I say particularly within the ranks of the IFP, because Mr. Buthelezi has indicated his intention to step down since 2006. The timing now, though, raises some questions to say we are going into a general election in May. Your elective conference is set for July. Jofo, the first question from me is why now?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Moyane and the NCA viewers. At the outset, let us indicate that we recalled that we were due for a conference last year. And of course, because of the challenges that we had, we announced that we were undergoing a very stringent process of auditing our branches following the revelation or the emergence of bogus branches within the party. The Daily Management Committee, which deals with the internal preparations of such matters, including conferences, then tabled a report 2 weeks ago to the National Executive Committee indicating that that process of auditing had been completed and the party was therefore ready for conference. But Prince Buthelezi then posed the fundamental question to say who would be leading the party's campaign, because the issue fundamentally was, do we go to conference now or do we focus on elections? The National Executive Committee then decided that it would be in the interests of the party to hold a conference in July and focus on the elections now. The Extended National Council on Saturday ratified that decision to say we will hold a conference in July, and it is for the party now to focus on the elections, because we are plus minus 100 days before an election, and therefore if we were to begin an internal process of conferencing now, we would not be able to apply ourselves fully. This is a decision, of course, that Prince Buthelezi has accepted lightly. He was very, very reluctant because he felt that the announcement that he had made that would be stepping down should be effected. But he has agreed, and we are quite thankful for that, because this gives the party the stability it needs to approach these elections. And the nomination that the party made in 2017, that Comrade Mangosuthu was our presidential candidate for the party come conference, remains untouched, and we are hopeful that come conference we will therefore be able to effect those kind of changes.
Now, who will be the face of the general elections for the IFP?
Well, Prince Buthelezi remains the president of the IFP, and therefore it follows that he will be leading the campaign of the IFP. However, the Extended National Council on Saturday made a few changes to the National Executive Committee of the party to help further assist in the transition process which Prince Buthelezi was asked to lead from 2012. And Comrade Mangosuthu is now the Secretary General of the party up until July, and this gives him the opportunity to further grasp the issues as we transit from this leadership to the next one. Furthermore, he will be driving the election campaign in the capacity of being the Chief Executive Officer of the party, and therefore he will be working very, very closely with Prince Buthelezi, and the National Executive Committee remains intact, and the National Council of the party has deployed the leadership of the party to the various districts of the country to be able to drive these processes of the elections. So Prince Buthelezi remains the first amongst equals as we manage this transition and fight this election.
So the IFP will fight this election with Prince Buthelezi as its face, as the head currently, until July, working very closely with Mr. Hlabisa as the Secretary General of the party. Mr. Hlabisa, very briefly, if you don't mind telling us, Baba Hlengwa, how would you describe him as a leader?
He's a very sober-minded individual who's got a very broad outlook of the collective future of this country, and has expressed time and time again the need for a South Africa that will grow its economy, create the jobs, and to build a healthcare and education system which responds to the collective needs and interests of our people. He's very pragmatic in his approach, and he is a leader of integrity who's not stained by corruption, and he is the mayor currently of the Big Five Hlabisa municipality, Northern KwaZulu-Natal, and prior taking the position of Secretary General of the party, he was the Provincial Secretary of the IFP in KwaZulu-Natal, and he has been the driving force of our electoral efforts in this province, which have seen us winning by-elections left, right and centre, regaining lost ground, which saw the IFP moving from 2 municipalities in 2011 to now controlling 13 municipalities. He is a leader who has grown through the ranks of the party from the SADESMO, or Students' Movement, one of the founding members of that. He then moved on to the IFP Youth Brigade and held the position of National Secretary, and he has been a member of the party's National Council for a long time. Therefore, he is the kind of leader which the IFP needs at this point in time, with a steady hand for the future. And of course, working closely with Prince Buthelezi, this enables the transition which we have set out in the party to be one which is smooth. And Prince Buthelezi has committed himself to be readily available at any time to offer guidance, to offer leadership support, and to be the sounding board of the party for so long as he is able to do so. We feel, therefore, as the party, that the arrangements that we have made and agreed to with all the structures are ones which put the IFP in good stead as we approach these elections and our elective conference in July.
Thank you very much, Babu Hlengwa. That's Mkhuleko Hlengwa, the national spokesperson of the IFP.